Today we're going to take a look at a solution for creating a park-like backyard. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today I'm over at the house next to the greenhouse, which is our rental house. We've got a pretty long backyard, but we wanted to create kind of more of a privacy or a park-like setting here in the backyard. So as you can see behind me, there's the neighbor. He's kind of a little ways off. But there's a lot of old trees, a lot of scrubby weeds and such off in the background here. And that's not our property, so we really can't do anything with it. So we want to kind of block out that kind of messy-ish look. And also we're going to head down and around and just kind of create a backyard park-like looking setting. So what are we going to use for that? We're going to use the North Pole Arborvitae, also known as Thuja. The reason why we chose North Pole is because we've also used a lot of them at the greenhouse to create kind of barriers or sound blocks. So we wanted to kind of keep a consistent look from the one property to the next. The other thing is we like the size of the North Pole Arborvitae. So they're hardy in zones 3 to 7. So perfect for where we're at here in a zone 6A area. But I like the size. So they'll get about 10 to 15 foot tall and about 4 to 5 foot wide. So that's just kind of a nice, perfect size for what we're looking to do. They have a nice dense habit, nice columnar habit. So it's just going to give us that nice clean look that we're hoping for. So what are some reasons why you may be looking to plant a hedge or a barrier or a block? Sometimes it is because simply you want to just block out the neighbors. Other times you might want to use these evergreens to create more of a sound barrier, a sound block. You may also use it to create a wind block. So there's a lot of reasons for why you may want to plant evergreen shrubs that have some size to them in your landscape. This is also a great plant too if you just want to add some pokes of structure in the garden too. You don't have to do them as a hedge and plant in mass. You can just plant one here and there to kind of give you some nice columnar evergreen looks of color. So we're going to talk to Carter here in just a minute and find out what he's doing for spacing, how often he's watering these, and just get a little bit of detail as to what's going into the project today. So let's go ahead and bring Carter on and find out from him a few answers to questions I have. So to kind of give you an idea of what the look is we're obtaining, I'm going to show you what we've done here at the greenhouse. So 3 years ago, Carter?
I'd say 3 years ago for these ones. Yeah.
All right, so we started off this project because here we wanted to block it's a pump house, right?
Yeah, it's a water pump house.
And we wanted to just kind of block that. And then we also wanted to block, I think, wind coming across the parking lot, right? So that the cars weren't going to get as dusty.
That, and hopefully in the winter, not as much snow drifting through here.
Oh yeah, right. So that's another thing, is these will help with kind of snow drifts as well. So we planted the North Poles here. These all started off as a 1 gallon 3 years ago. I would say they're probably 7-ish foot tall right now. They were all planted how far apart?
5 feet.
5 foot centers. Okay. So we planted them up. They look nice, but we thought, you know what, we've got enough room. We need a little bit of more in front of it. So we also did a hedgerow of various hydrangeas. So we've got puffer fish, little quick fire, and then I think little lime punch in there.
That sounds right.
Okay. So we just did various hydrangeas just to kind of test and trial those as well. This is 3 years. Now, as we turned towards the rental house, we planted another set of the North Pole. And these were done 2 years ago, and I'm 5'9", so they're about 6 foot tall right now. Do you remember, did these start as a...
These ones also are 1 gallon.
1 gallon? Okay, so this is comparable to what we're going to be planting today, just to give you an idea of how fast they grow. And this we did just to kind of create, again, a barrier from the greenhouse to the house to give the house just a little bit more privacy so it's not looking out over the greenhouse. Ideally, because you're in the house right now, these will hopefully get tall enough that it can block some of the light at night, especially that the greenhouse is...
Hopefully, but there's a very slim chance of that for how many lights are around here.
We do have it lit up at night pretty well. So again, another planting a year later, again, to give you an idea of the current size of the plants. So now let's head over to the current project and take a look at what we're doing there. All right, so we're back over again now at the rental house. Logan's also joined us. He was helping the team fill up the, I don't know, soil or something to plant in gallons today. Yep. So kind of timely here that we got this going. Carter, Logan, I'm gonna let you guys explain. You're gonna have to kind of share that mic because we only got 2 here. What went on, what you had to do to prep this area for the planting of these Arborvitae plants.
Okay. There's a 10-foot strip between the greenhouse and this land that I had to make sure, because it's the neighbor's who's actually to the other side of us. I wanted to make sure I did not plant an arborvitae on his portion, so I measured my distance off, and then I put down a flag. And then I strung out the 300-foot tape measure all the way to the other side where I wanted to start going toward 96th Avenue with, and then just placed a flag at every 5 feet, so it was a nice straight line. And then, because I know where my property lines are, I wanted to be 2.5 feet from the property edge, so that way when the arborvitaes are fully grown, I would be right on the edge of the property line. So that way I don't have to mow on the backside, or I don't have to take care of it. It's the neighbor's property at that point, and I have my trees on my side, so nothing can ever really happen to them.
Because they get about 5 foot wide at maturity.
Yep.
So that's why you went 2.5 foot off,
Yep,
figuring
so
the plant's going to grow 2.5 foot in each direction. So
Yep.
yeah, that's good.
And then that's also why they're 5 foot apart, is so that way when they're fully grown, they could be
They'll be
pretty much
like
touching.
nicely touching.
Yeah.
You don't want any gaps you don't want to see through.
Yep. So then once I had that and I had my property edge, I just took my tape measure and made sure that I was my 2.5 feet on both sides, and then flagged them all. But halfway through it, I have a nice, I believe it's a black oak tree in the middle. So I also had to try to take
black
that.
walnut.
Yeah, black walnut.
Yeah, yeah.
So that way I had to make sure that that was going to be in a nice place, so I didn't have a tree like weirdly spaced on it.
Yeah.
So I took that into consideration and moved it so that way the tree was going to be at a 5 foot mark. If it ever would come down for some reason, if it gets sick, we could easily just pop another arborvitae in there, and hopefully it grows quicker than the others.
There was a planning that went into the spacing, and you had to do a little tweaking based off
Yep.
of other things that might have gotten in the way,
Yep.
right? Okay, Logan, before that, there was some other prep work that had to get done to make for sure that there was nothing else in the way. So what did you have to do with that, Logan?
Yeah, so what you guys can kind of see here is where it does not necessarily look like grass. That was just a whole bunch of overgrown shrubbery, just stuff that looked very ugly.
So that's about a 30-foot run by about 10-foot run, right?
Yep, approximately, yep. So what we did is we just grabbed our tractor, we just got in there, ripped out the roots. Another thing I want to point out, kind of like what Carter was saying too, is 2.5 feet on each side, that side of the red flags and this side, we decided to kill off. The reason we're going to do that is because we're going to be laying mulch in there, and hopefully that'll prevent weeds from coming up as time goes on.
You're killing off the grass, right?
Exactly, yep.
So when are you going to do that?
It was killed off yesterday or about 2 days ago. So obviously we aren't seeing the grass killer taking yet.
So you want to make sure you're doing that before you plant your plants, because if you plant your plants and do the weed killer, you could potentially harm the plant as well.
And I also put a weed preventer down too, so that way anything that is in here has no chance of coming back up. The bark will help,
Yep.
but weeds, we all know, just still come through. If I kill it and then put a preventer down, then it won't come back as easily.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So we got rid of, you had holly in there, Logan. There was lilac in there.
I believe there was a hibiscus that was not looking very pretty.
Yeah. It was just kind of like a random collection. They were way overgrown and scrubby looking. They didn't look good.
Oh, yeah.
But we kind of liked them because we'd come here in the winter and grab our holly berries for our winter porch pots. So those are gone now. So we'll have to come up with another solution. But it's good to start off with a plan in place and a nice clean straight line, and just making sure, you might start at point A and get to point B and be like, oh, there's something in the way. So you definitely looked at the full project before you started setting flags and stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of walk the line a little bit here. We were talking earlier, how long is the path of arborvitae you're gonna be planting?
On this side of the property is about 300 feet long. And then as we take a corner and go toward 96th Avenue, that's about another 125
Okay,
feet.
so we'll go take a look at that in a second. So you've got your flags all in place, so we know where the plants all have to go. You've already got a few of them started here. First off, let's take a look at the soil that you guys are planting these into. It's a very light, airy, powdery, sandy soil. This is going to be the kind of soil that does not hold a lot of moisture. It's going to be pretty well drained. It looks like you're dealing with some roots because you did rip out some junk.
Yep, and there's also a tree right like 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah. So this is a nice auger hooked onto the John Deere. Logan, do you want to show them how it works?
Definitely, I can show them, yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got. They're lining up that auger right where the flag was.
You're good, Logan.
Logan's doing some things on the inside to get it to work. Carter's stabilizing it. So they didn't have to go very far down. Basically, I think Carter kind of told Logan when to stop when he could see that the hole was going to be deep enough. And you can see how slick that works. I mean, no effort and breaking through any roots that were down there. When they're planting them, they don't want to plant them too deep. So now they're backfilling it in. They want to make sure that when they're planting it that the tree is straight. Trees do naturally straighten out if they are crooked. Like they know their way to the sun. But if we plant them straight to start with, it's going to help them out. Very scientific here, patting down that soil, tightening it in really good. And just backfilling it some more, and that's how that goes. So pretty easy. They got a lot of them to do though, 85 of them, so it's going to take them a while. It's already pretty warm, and it's only what, 9 o'clock in the morning right now. So you guys are going to be, what'd you call it, Carter, a 4-shirt day? Yeah. So that's how it's done. So let's just go ahead and take a look to see where they're all going to go.
With the underground sprinkling that was put in, we had them put in a T, so that way I can put a drip pipe in here. And then I'm just going to weave the brown drip pipe around every tree, so that way it's able to be watered for, say, 90 minutes a day. It's probably going to be a little bit longer while they're getting established than just 90 minutes in general.
Once they're established, we should be able to back it off a little bit. Although Dad does tend to overwater.
He likes overwatering. With the ones that are over at the greenhouse, those are for 90. So
okay, yeah. So he does tend to overwater. I would say you probably wouldn't need to do it, but his motto is better safe than sorry.
But also with this drip pipe, it's going, I think it's a 0.8 gallons an hour drip every foot I'm going to have them.
Okay.
So by the time it's actually right next to the tree, it's
not getting all the water.
It's not getting a lot of water for the course of an hour. So if you go an hour and a half, it's only getting like a gallon and a half.
Okay. So a gallon and a half or so a day. So that's good to know. Right now there's underground sprinkling put in here. That's just a head that they basically had come up. You don't have your...
That's just a totally separate zone.
Tubing's not in here at all yet.
Nope, I have to put my brown drip. I had to make sure that I was not right in this line here because that's where the actual main line is.
Now I'm seeing you've got like some re-rod here. What is...
Yeah, I put the re-rod in here so that way to start when I was killing all the grass off, I could have a string line so that way I knew right where my lines were to kill it straight.
Okay.
But I'm leaving the re-rod in here for now because when we're done planting the trees, I'm thinking to put the string back out. So when the bark comes in, I have a nice straight reference line again.
Okay. You're definitely into straight lines.
Kind of.
Yeah.
What you're also going to see right here is we have a black walnut tree. And then we wanted to go 5 feet that way and 5 feet this way so that over time these North Pole evergreen will not overgrow and like climb into that tree.
And like Carter was saying earlier, if something happens or we decide we don't want the tree, I guess it gives us a natural break in our pattern.
Exactly.
If we do put a tree there, it'll be smaller, or we'll just have to look for a bigger one so it looks more natural. That was one thing. We did take out a black walnut, and what we didn't realize is that black walnut is a very valuable tree, and Rod's just like, cut it up, take it off. And the neighbor's like, oh, you should have sold the wood from that thing. You could have made some money off it. So live and learn. If this one comes down, we sell the pieces on Facebook Marketplace. My question is why was this then your turning point? Because obviously the property goes to the road, except for you don't plant 20 feet off the center of the road. Yeah. So you can't plant in that area, or if you do, you have to risk maybe having to remove it.
Yep.
So this is kind of a turning point for you. So why here?
I originally had them 5 feet farther over, but then when the underground guys were here putting in the underground sprinkling, they told me that they'd have to have another zone for that 5 feet.
Oh.
So based on just their coverage, I can just move the trees in 5 feet and it's not going to do much. The main reason that we chose to go where we did is because over there, Semco, our gas company, has I think it's a metering stand. And every once in a while, you can just hear it hissing just from the gas flowing through. So the part of the reason that we wanted to go toward 96 is not only for the road noise here on New Holland, but also just to keep some of the noise just from that metering station.
So when you're doing a big planting project or any planting project where you need to dig, you do have to have your local, ours is called Mistig. I don't know if that's Michigan dig or something.
It's a national thing, I believe.
Okay. You have to have your company come out, and it's a free service, but they'll mark anywhere there might be something in your yard that you don't want to hit when you're digging a hole. So, so ideally now this is going to hopefully cut down a little bit on traffic noise too. I don't know. We'll have to see because
it's going to be a little bit, but most of the traffic is coming down 96th Avenue anyways in the front side of the house, so it's not going to do a ton. But it would also just make the yard more enjoyable to like be in, so you don't have to worry about people running out in the
Right.
road.
It'll give you more of a park-like setting and feeling, which you're right. It'll just feel a little cozier. So big project ahead of you guys today. Yeah. Lots of holes to be dug, lots of backfilling.
Yep.
Still going to be a hot, sweaty job, but I think that auger on the tractor is going to totally...
It's much better than taking a shovel 85 times.
Right, exactly. So that'll make the project go quicker and not quite as laborsome. So that'll be nice to have. So, all right, well, I will let you guys get back to digging your holes. It's starting off looking good. So be done in an hour?
No.
No.
All day.
All day project.
Or
Wow.
just before. Well, by the time I get all the drip pipe in, it might be close to all
Oh,
day.
yeah, that's true. You got that too. So, all right. So we'll keep you updated on the progress once they get it planted, how it's doing through the rest of the summer, so you can see what it looks like once it's done. But if you're looking to create just a nice privacy look in your yard, these evergreens, these North Pole Arborvitaes are a great solution to creating just a privacy park-like look in your yard. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're new to our channel, we welcome you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.